Hola chicos! So I'm not in class today, and this is the first movie that I'm making for you guys, so be gentle, be kind. But I'm going to talk you through my expectations for honor code in class since you have your first quiz today. So here we go. Honor code is something that's very important to me because I see as one of my roles as your teacher to not only teach you Spanish and to keep you safe, which you've heard me say when we do our lockdown or fire drills, is to help you grow as people of integrity. And I think the honor code is an important piece in that. So these are my expectations about what my students will do in class. That you guys are supporting each other. And if it's something that is collaborative, that we're going to work on it together and be really good teammates. And when we do our research, you guys are going to use a variety of sources and then give credit for those sources in your submitted work. I always ask you all to be communicating honestly with me, and I've already had some specific examples of that, like when someone's come in late and I can't remember who, and I've asked the class and people say, yes, I admit I was in here late. When we talk about respecting the intellectual property of others, that means that the work that we submit that has our name on it is our own work. It's not the work of other people that we're passing off as our own. I don't have really any more specific honor code parameters that I have in my classroom, but I am going to show you guys a couple scenarios so you can understand how it works in this classroom. And you'll see that there's a link here if you all want to review the honor code policy in general for Oakton High School. But I did pull out it for you here in this presentation as well, just so you understand what the consequences are. So the first time that there's an honor code violation, the student is going to get a 50% on the graded assignment, and this is not something that will be able to be reassessed. So if it is found or the student acknowledges that they were violating the honor code, it'll be entered into the gradebook as 50% HCV, honor code violation. If the student is a member of Honor Society, there's a really good chance that that person will be put on probation because of the honor code violation. And the information about the violation will be recorded in the student's SIS file. If it happens a second time, the consequences for the first offense repeat, and then there's these additional consequences. Not only will your teacher know about the honor code violation, the coaches and sponsors for any extracurricular activities will also be notified. If that person is a member of an honor society, they will be recommended for dismissal. If the person wants to become a member of the honor society, they'll have to wait 1 calendar year before being invited or applying. And the student may not run for student advisory council, student government, class office, or apply for the leadership class for 1 calendar year after the violation. Finally, and probably most seriously, the student will be issued a 1-day in-school suspension. If it happens for a third time or any times following a third time, it will be the consequences for the first and second offense, as well as students can receive up to a 5-day out of school suspension or in addition, suspension from all extracurricular and co-curricular activities. And that includes things like dances, concert performances, sporting events, improv shows, etc., and including walking for graduation. So this is, as a result, what we will not do in our classroom, because these are things that can constitute violations of honor code. There's no unauthorized use of study aids during an assessed activity, so that's a graded activity. There's no unauthorized use of technology during assessment activities. You can't copy another person's work, and it doesn't matter if that is a quiz, a test, or even just a piece of homework. You are not allowed to deliberately allow another student to copy your work. You can't give or receive signals during a test. You can't force another student to help you. You can't take or copy a test key and then use it, and you can't steal intellectual property. And stealing intellectual property includes not giving credit to resources that you have found, in addition to claiming someone else's work as your own in the classroom, for example. It's really important you guys understand what unauthorized study aids means, because this might be a little bit different from what you remember in prior years of Spanish. So we are really, really working this year to make sure that all of the students in the World Language Department are not using translation tools. So that means no Google Translate, no Spanish Dict, no product that will give you a translation of a phrase or a conjugated verb. So those are never permitted. Those are always unauthorized study aids. Additionally, if we're doing a reading or a piece of work that I've given to you in Spanish or that you find in Spanish, the expectation is that you keep it in Spanish. By translating that or by finding an English copy of it, that would also constitute an honor code violation. If that comes up, students who use those tools to complete their work receive the 50% HCV and will be written and referred to the Honor Council. So now let's try and see how we are working and understanding what Senora Modis is setting up for class. So here's the first example. Geraldo leaves his vocabulary list on the floor where he can read it while he takes his vocabulary quiz. Well, that's pretty obvious. That's an honor code violation or a possible honor code violation. So Senora Modis will write that up as an example of cheating. She will speak to Geraldo about it. If Geraldo acknowledges that yes, he was cheating, that's where things sort of end. If the student wants to submit their side of the story and go before the Honor Council, that is possible, and you can read more about that on the Honor Council website. So in this case, Paco is too lazy to put his vocabulary sheet away, so he puts it on the floor. Ricardo notices and uses it to copy the correct answers onto his test. Is that an honor code violation? Yep. Senora Modis would write it up as a possible honor code violation report for both Paco and Ricardo for cheating. Now, if Paco was legitimately not involved in helping Ricardo cheat on the test, he can write that up in his language that he uses for the Honor Council. But it would still be written up as a possible honor code violation because from Senora Modis's perspective, from my perspective, I can't tell, which is when I am in doubt, I send it to the Honor Council and they will help determine the best course of action in any given situation. So Judith is doing writing revisions as a reassessment. She uses her notes, the textbook, and the additional resources on Google Classroom to improve and clarify her writing and explain the changes she has made. Is that an honor code violation? Nope. In my classroom, I would encourage all of these steps. If you are working to reassess for a piece of writing you have submitted, this will give you the opportunity to do so using sources to improve your work. Here's another variation on that. So before submitting his revised writing, oops, that should say her, before submitting her revised writing, Anna asks a native speaker to read through and correct any issues she sees. So to review, Anna, who is revising an essay for Senora Modis, asks a native speaker to read through her essay and correct her work. Is that a violation of the honor code? In this case, it is. By using another student's ideas and corrections as her own, that's actually violating the intellectual property part of the honor code. It's not Anna's ideas anymore. It's the ideas of the native speaker who she asked for help. In this case, while writing an OpenNote essay, Yolanda uses wordreference.com to look up how to write octopus in Spanish. Is it a violation? That's totally fine. Using resources like a dictionary is allowed when we're doing something that's open notes. While writing an OpenNote essay, Yolanda uses Spanish Dict to look up how to write the octopus squirted ink in Spanish. What about that? Is that an honor code violation? Yes, this is an honor code violation. This is now using translation instead of a dictionary. So it should say, yes, this is an honor code violation. See, this is why I don't make videos. Nope, that should not say nope. It should say, yes, this is now translation because it's using a phrase or sentence, not just a single word. And translation tools are never allowed, and it would be a violation of the honor code. Not allowed. While studying for his preterite quiz, Jesus uses online quizzes at SpanishDict.com to practice conjugations. Is that a violation of the honor code? Nope. In this case, using Spanish Dict for their other resources, not for translation, but for using their online quizzes to study or to review their notes on any particular grammar topic, that's a fantastic resource and totally fine to use. While doing a closed note assessment, Juan uses one of Señora Modis's dictionaries to check how to spell desayuno. Is that an honor code violation? That is not okay. It's a no-no. If it's closed notes, the only resource that you are using is your wonderful brain. You should not be going anywhere else for any more information. So friends, I want to end just by saying, you guys are my kids. Even though I don't tuck you in at night, I really see you as my kids. Not just now when you're in my classroom, but forever long as I know you, I will still think of you as my kids. And I want what's best for you. So by helping to support and helping to really encourage everyone to do their best work and their own work, I am trying my very hardest to help you grow as people of integrity. So hopefully by everyone understanding well how the honor code works in class, we will have a great, productive, very positive year this year. And if there's anything I can do because you're feeling stressed or overwhelmed, please come and speak with me. I'm so happy to talk with people before something comes up, before people feel like they have to take a shortcut because they're overwhelmed by their responsibilities or workload in school. You guys are my kids. I want to take care of you and help you grow. I hope it's a great year. Thanks so much for listening. And the secret word is aguacate. If you write aguacate on your quiz today, you'll get an extra bonus point. But you need to keep that secret to yourself. All right, guys, see you next class.